I think so. I think so, Sakura. Restarted the whole modem and all that. Then it was like, no, I don't want to restart. It didn't want to do nothing. But look, we here. My internet didn't want me to be great, butter, but you can't hold me down, butter. Please don't hold me down, butter. I hope it don't hold me down, butter. I'm gonna try to wait a little bit, see how many people we can get back in here before we start up on this story, man. I see your Instagram, butter. What you mean you see my Instagram? He was the first one to comment on it. The one that the one that did it, he was the first one to comment on the video on IG. And that happened months ago. It's more like a people like that situation. That was just a good example. And most people ran with them and they knew. All-Star Weekend was dope, bro. All right, y'all. Back to it. Last time we came in here, this room
Okay,
had 5
it's
doors.
worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
He trying to play me.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how
Starting this
about
over.
this? You win! Congratulations!
We did it,
You
y'all.
put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, we got a line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
They said I'm slow. I'm not slow. I don't like following the instructions. I'm not following that line. I'm not. I really don't want to follow that line, bruh. Because we was supposed to go this way, and now y'all gonna switch it up. We're gonna go this way. I don't want to go this way. I don't know where that way go. I know where this way go. Like what? Hey, bruh. I'm really conflicted, man. I don't want to follow this line. This is stupid.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
I remember
or to put
you
it
was
another
conflicted.
way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I don't know, Sasha. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I had some confusion before. Bruh. Whatever, bro. I want the music to
Cut
stop.
the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Autumn, my internet had literally went out, and my OBS was just telling me beforehand. I'm not gonna forget that firm, bruh. So I had to restart my whole modem and all that.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
the Stan the Stanley Parable, brother.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
All right, so Lil, this story, I'm a dude. this game, you're a dude in the office, and one day your coworkers just disappear. You don't know where they're going. You're trying to find your way out. You got a narrator, and there it goes. But he narrates everything you do. You can listen to him or not listen to him. The story changes depending on where you go. Look.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
So the narrator is supposed to be gone.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Yo, this is insane. Now the narrator gone, y'all. I think I'm gonna be out here dolo.
All of his co-workers were
Nope.
gone.
Okay.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, Lil, this is like how it started, but we keep deviating from the story, and somehow we get started over with like things changing, little things, big things, all kinds of stuff.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Um, you know, I think I'm gonna just go left this time. We went right so many times.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Kinda, sorta. But this game has like infinite amounts of endings.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't like red. I don't like the red. I think I'm just go ahead and go up, bruh. It reminded me of that Castanet clip. I'm cool. G was good. If they would have made it like a blue light down there, I'd have been down there, Sakura. I would have been down there in Sakura. But going down, red lights.
Stepping into his manager's office,
Maybe
Stanley
if I
was
would have
once
prayed
again
first.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Why is it so hard to aim?
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
It's some creepy stuff, dog. And we starting over.
Descending
Okay.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I
It was
agree.
a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Let me see.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Escape looked definitely
At
sketchy,
this
but I don't
point,
trust, bro.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Let's do it.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yep. There you go.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Like, did I actually beat the game already is what I want to know. I know there's a lot of different endings. Did I already find one?
But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Stanley walked over the bridge. Stanley jumped in the river. Then he pushed the number 8.
I am confusion. I don't.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move
Bruh,
forward,
Black
you'll
Mirror
be
is so
walking someone
crazy.
else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Hey, I died that time. Don't be scared, brother. We back at the office. All right.
All of his co-workers were
Yep.
gone.
Straight
What
to
could
it. Let's go.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Am I literally
Then he
floating?
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question
Bro,
of
this
them
is
all
crazy.
entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought
Bro,
it all
if you don't
very odd
restart
and
this
wondered
game,
if this voice spoke to all people in their
I'll
dreams,
fight you, bro.
the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake
This is
up.
why you don't do drugs,
He
ladies
felt
and
the cool
gentlemen.
weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
What are you talking
I
about?
wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
It's not a horror game.
I
It's,
am normal.
I don't know what it is, bro.
Everything
It's
will
an
be
adventure.
fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss, I have an office, I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real, I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Restarting?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Whoa, I didn't decide on this.
Mariella woke
I
up on a
just
day
changed
like any other.
genders?
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
And that is why we get out of that 9 to 5. We work 9 to 1s now. Come on. This game came out some years ago on PC only, like years and years ago. But then they remade it and added stuff to it with like a bunch of different endings and put it on consoles a few years back. But some YouTuber I follow had did a walkthrough on this some time ago.
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
I got you,
Stanley's office.
We're gonna go left, go up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I can't leave. Sagwa, you're scaring me.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I'm gonna die now. This is the part where I die again. We're going in the mind control place now.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, this might be the end, like the true end.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What's that, little butter?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Do I win?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
This is true.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
That's the freedom
That was
ending.
all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And we're going right back in. I got more endings to see. But I told y'all I was going to win, though. Before the stream ended, I told y'all we was going to win.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
But it said new content. I'm gonna go back up there though, Sakura.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I haven't tried Ghost of Tsushima yet. Maybe we'll get it in the future, brother.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Wumbo. Hey.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I like this game.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe
I got you,
mostly
Sakura.
tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Should I go in a jump circle, bruh? Hey, y'all. New content, y'all. Jumping like a good boy, brother. Let's get it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I just wanted to see if he'd say something about me not jumping. Oh, man, I don't got no more jumps. Rage bait with jumping. Man, I want to go back upstairs.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if...
Yeah,
oh,
I gotta
wait.
finish Shadow of
There's
Mordor
more.
so we could get Shadow
Very
of War.
good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I didn't finish Shadow of Mordor yet.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for
I got
no
unlimited
reason
ducks,
other than
though.
to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of
Might
craftsmanship
not
that's
be
gone
able to
into
jump,
it. In
but I can
fact,
duck, though.
I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game?
Come on,
and
let's
we'll
do it.
try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really
I'm
about.
going
No
upstairs.
frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Let's do it. We're going left. We're going upstairs. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, this ain't what we agreed upon. I want to be there.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
That scares me. This ain't Spider-Man. Hey, y'all. Hey, bro, should I go in the vent or just go? Do I go in the vent or should I go down the hallway? Sakura said vent. We going in the vent. I finally get to use my ducks. All right. Coffee nut, bro. Oh, okay. I get what it's saying.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
No, I haven't played Portal.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
President of the year, he don't even have a face. Super Stan. And then Stanley threw an alley.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition
My name is
along
gonna
to
be
the
Stanley
PlayStation.
Parable.
Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Meet Stanley. Y'all, they trying to get me back in the comp scene on 2K, bruh, and now I want to go. What should I do?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
I played in
What I
leagues
wouldn't
last
give
year.
to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Just a
Oh
little.
no, oh God, no,
They don't
Stanley. It's a
necessarily have
collection of
my
reviews from Pressurized Gas,
play
the
style.
extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I don't know which leagues because they're trying to get me to play on the team now. But yeah, but the team is like half ethical, half cheesy. I won't be the PG. The point guard is gonna average like 40.
Okay,
I'd be
let's see
more
what
than
this
likely a
one
swing.
says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and
Yeah, I
airy
did it
as
last year.
Well, I always thought it did.
My Caruso
But
build
maybe
was
it
made
wasn't.
after my swing last year.
Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I'm really good at swing.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his
Yeah, it's the exact
long-winded
same swing build I had from
explanations of
last
what's
year.
happening. I wish there
Just
was a
less
skip
rebound
button.
because they wouldn't let me get that rebound on the 6-6.
A skip button.
Last year, I think I could get 92.
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you... Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue for... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Yeah,
You've just been frozen there.
I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. My work schedule had changed. It didn't really work with it.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Somewhere towards the end of 25.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and...
He's not talking no more. Let's look around. Yeah, I think so. It'd be usual squad times. They'd expect me to be available on like Friday nights. I don't like feeling like I have to work when I'm at work. I'd rather just have fun. Pay a little fee, get in leagues, you win, you get money. You don't win, you donate it.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their...
I don't like this ending. Get me back in the office.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never
This
the
bro,
end, is never the end,
he's
is never
losing
the
his
end, is
mind.
never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
It's raining. There's nowhere to leave. It's only button. Oh, the building's broken, y'all. I think it's gonna break some more. It's gonna deteriorate over time, but alright, one more time with the button. I should be out of here. Freedom? Sunshine? One more time with the button. Come on. Alright, life is forming. I still can't. Alright, if I was Spider-Man. Alright. One more time with the button. One more time with the button. Do I hear new civilization? Now it's a horror game. What is it, Sinners? We just changed genres? Bro, is it... Oh, okay, cool. We win. We won again, y'all. We did it. Just ended the game. We're about to be back in the office in no time, right? Watch it be one building pop up. I walk through the door and I'm in my office. This game is drugs. Sakura, you might be on to something there,
Stanley
brother.
had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
But if I could go to the office, I'm going. It's been so long since I've been there. I miss my boss. I don't trust you. Get that sign out of my face.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
One more time.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
One more time. For the people in the back. You ain't got...
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Look, I'm just trying to see if you get mad and this broom closet turns into a spaceship. Spaceship broom closet. Come on, y'all.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Alright, I'm leaving it
If
alone.
I'd said Stanley walked past the coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do not put in the code. Do not put in the code. Do not put in the code.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
You know, I don't think that went how it was supposed to go. I didn't get to not put in the code. They forced it. I can't go back. There was no code. I didn't put it in. What you mean? Are they gonna give me the same ending?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Should I just go to the beginning of the game? What should I do? You gotta give more instructions.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end, but of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I am.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You deserve it, Daddy.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all
Next
this
time we going in the
was
office,
this the only reason he was happy with his boring
I need
job?
you
That his
to
emotions
give
had been
more than the first
manipulated
step
to
of
accept it
instructions. I
blindly?
need the second step and the third step before we get any further.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
The cliffhangers,
Never.
but
It was
I had 2
unthinkable.
seconds.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
I wonder if he's gonna do an
the
evil
controls
laugh.
once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Why'd he say erased?
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
Are we in the
Not a
rocket ship?
choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the
How
joke.
dare he shut that
And
door,
believe me,
brother.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
All right, y'all.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Like walk in and try to back out?
Here's the door.
Should I go downstairs? I think I missed the window of something. Earlier. I don't know, let's see. Let's go back downstairs. Maybe I did it in the wrong order. Anywho, we're going to... Should I go to the... Well, that's different. That door wasn't open before. Said this is it. Did I confuse the narrator? Very dark in here. Bro, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should I go to the new content? Or is it just gonna be the same new content from before?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The end
Yes,
is
you
never
see,
the end again.
isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it
They're back.
even
2
mean?
doors.
But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply
Jim.
become a person named Jim.
I'm Jim now.
I want you to imagine yourself...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
go ahead,
If you
go
don't
ahead.
properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Come on.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me
got it,
finish
boss.
first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Be Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim,
Come on.
playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim,
I'm Jim now.
staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim,
Going to the gym as
developing a
Jim.
crippling substance addiction as Jim,
Facts. Let's get it. I'm Jim.
rediscovering yourself through fringe...
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Thanks. Open the door
I'm
for
done
me.
with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
I'm Jim now. Shout out to all my gyms, y'all. If you're a gym be a gym, you know? Just gotta embrace the gym sometimes.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
There you go. I don't think I'm gonna go on that one yet. That looks final. Infinite hole. Jump circle. I don't want the jump circle. I do want the infinite hole. I'm gonna look at this map that matters not. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Give me my little Stanley thing. Come on. That's what we always wanted, man. Shout out to collectibles and whatnot. Oh, okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Free trophy, y'all.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Alright, no trophy, no trophy. One more time, though, one more time. Alright. Really wanted that trophy.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Infinite hole. What's this? I don't want to go that way. I want infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for... You see? Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now.
I'm going in here at
forever.
least one more time.
There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I prepared for
There's
you.
just something
I
about
really
this
spent
hole,
quite a lot
bro.
of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about...
There we go.
Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Yep.
The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A
Not
normal
wrong.
person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for.
I'ma die
It's
in the
a
hole.
win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Come back, narrator, brother. I'm gonna die in the hole. I'm gonna die in the hole, y'all. And it's not even a deep hole. Oh. No. Let me pause the music so y'all can feel what I feel, you know? Me and this hole just kicking it. Hey, that's hard. Change with the music. I don't have a soundboard. I had one, but it didn't work with my PC, so I gotta get a different one. Hey, shout out to Stanley.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger.
What?
Now you're no.
Bro, what is this? Change yourself. Bruh, how many selves and realities and
Stanley? 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 Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
bro, if you don't get
And
me
I'm
out of
looking
this
forward
hole,
to
bro,
working.
I don't want to be in this
Stay
hole no
alert,
more.
Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Toodle pip? What does that even mean? Is the hole about to go down again? This hole was a bad idea. Whose idea was it to go down that hole? All right.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
I'm going to do the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
There you go.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly
Let me
normal
hold that
and
bucket, bro.
perhaps even comforting. You
I
may
need
even
that.
come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Come on.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Toodle pip.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thanks, bro. I'm keeping my bucket. You never getting that bucket.
Does
back.
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an
Screenshots.
award if it isn't already.
I didn't go through this story yet. Me and my bucket. Epilogue. Free trophy. Settings world champion. About to change my settings on y'all. Hold on. Oh. Alright, can't change my settings on y'all. We're gonna go to the exit then. I'm not jump circling again. Y'all can have music now.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, me and my bucket. As long as I get to keep the bucket, we smooth. Don't, like, you take my bucket away, we're gonna have a problem.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
I am.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Back at the beginning,
Stanley
y'all.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
bucket.
had simply missed. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Come on. Turn up for buckets.
Stanley
Hey, bro, we
clutched
about
the
to go
bucket
right.
tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Shout out
and
to
here
my
it
bucket,
was.
y'all.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Now, we went that way before. I don't think there was any other options once we went this way. Hold on.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Come on, that's what it's
How
all about.
deeply touching.
That's what it's all about, man. We die for the bucket around here. All
of
about
his
buckets,
co-workers
bro.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Oh, I'm gonna put my bucket in
Stanley
the car
clutched the
now.
bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had
I
felt
say
the
I can
bucket
put this
calling to
bucket
him,
in the broom
telling him
closet.
that the
Come on.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance
I
section
usually go
and
down
walked
there.
straight ahead to the opposite door.
You put your iPad away for a second. Now I got a bucket. All about buckets, man. All about buckets. Even when we not on, you know, even when we not on 2K, we about buckets, man. We
Still
gotta get
no
the
one was
bucket.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
It does.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as
Yep.
clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
It does.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom
Come on.
closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say
Come
here.
on.
It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand
I
over
want the
bucket.
broom
I
closet
know
to have
how
the
hard
bucket.
it must be, given the
I want-
pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
I also won a couple
Hand it
times.
over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a
Not gonna
variety
lie, I
of
might need
reasons.
an animated
Even this
bucket
is worse than I had
emote.
imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
As you can see, I was tired of it. Hey, I got me a trophy,
One
y'all.
of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure
Come
of
on.
a job well done.
We're
You
gonna do
can't
it.
buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
No.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
The figurine is the reward, but it is. I'm gonna put the figurine in my bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Facts.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Not putting it in. We had walked in here earlier, Kate, and then we had backed out, and then created
Stanley
like
just
a
sat
little,
around twiddling his thumbs.
did like a new
Trying
little,
to
you know what I'm
input
saying?
anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Nope, never could have known. He's gonna get mad at me. I'm still not putting in that code.
2845.
Nope. He gonna open the door anyway? He gonna get mad.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And
See?
Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Well, I got a bucket now. What's the worst that can happen, you know? Collect a...
Another miniature Stanley
Come on.
figurine. This, you know,
Give it to me.
there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Oh, the
Stanley
mini
figs.
stand.
Or what about Stanlerines?
I like
Yes,
mini
I
stands.
think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Guess I gotta go down.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Not for the bucket,
Soothing
bro.
him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and... Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Well, I guess I do gotta go in the elevator again.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Now the question is, like, do I go up again? One more time just to make sure.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Huggy? What you been doing?
What is this game? First.
It's called the Stanley Parable.
I've been doing cyber and I've been doing.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Nice. What you eat for lunch today?
A sandwich.
Nice.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I understand.
It melted my face off.
No, not your face.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
But sometimes maybe a little, but not really.
Whoa.
This part's supposed to be scary, I guess. They're gonna get smashed by that thing.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Well.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
It's the same thing, but with bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
What do you need a bucket for?
I don't know.
Ooh, I like that.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Before I go upstairs.
They got bucket hieroglyphs. You know what a hieroglyph is?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Go in there.
You sure about this, Al?
Yeah. I am very sure.
I tried. Got a bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
No, I think I'm
Don't
actually gonna get
reset the
crushed.
game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
It got crushed.
Man,
Now we're back in the office.
why is only one person watching?
One watching on there.
There's actually
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Because it's there.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
why is I open
Why not try to open these doors? You know?
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Is there any more endings?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good.
Said the
I'm gonna
bucket.
jump off.
Now
and
ride the
then go
lift
through that
all the
door.
way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger everywhere.
Yeah? Okay.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Hold on, y'all. Alright.
I thought you were dead. I don't want you. Why are you opening up on? Go in there.
Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Is what?
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything
That's
we'll
the
ever
game
need to
they're
know
making me
about
play,
what
so
is
I
or
can
is
decide
not
if
a
I know what a
bucket.
bucket is.
Okay, let's begin.
So the sign said no buckets passed in. And he was like,
Item
maybe you
one.
don't know what a
Is
bucket
this
is.
a bucket?
That is a bucket, in fact.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Said I was wrong. He said it was a fake bucket.
Item 2.
No.
Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
That's not and
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
that is
Correct. This is a bucket.
They got it right. It was a bucket.
how are you supposed to know if it's not bucket?
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct.
Right.
This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for
You
not
never
making
know
me
what a
look like
bucket
an
is,
idiot.
you know?
Okay, next one.
We thought we knew a bucket before. Wasn't a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
That's not a bucket.
Incorrect.
No, it's a bucket.
This is a bucket.
How is it a bucket? How is it a
Item
bucket?
6.
No.
Is this a bucket?
No?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
It's that trick question, both. It doesn't make sense, Els.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
You can have my bucket. Yep, that's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
It's a bucket. If I don't say bucket,
Nothing is a bucket.
You know what?
what's it?
I'm too confused to even sort it out.
He
I've lost
confused.
all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
He's a
I'm
bucket
losing
now.
myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
He's taking all the buckets
Okay,
away.
here we go.
I'm about to start the game over with no bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Because
was
everything's a
everything
bucket.
a bucket?
That's why
Every single
everything's
thing in
gone.
the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no
It's
idea.
okay, Els.
How could...
I know you're
Except me.
confused. You wouldn't understand.
I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still
You
here.
might be a bucket.
You're not a bucket either.
I'm
Oh,
not
this
a
is
bucket.
wonderful news.
Buckets
We're
don't
not
talk.
buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll
that big
reset
bucket?
everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right,
I'd
here we go.
probably be the size of my head.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
How do you take my other bucket?
You think I should get that bucket again?
Why don't any of these doors open?
Or actually, no. We're going to go no bucket because I got to go somewhere without a bucket. And there's a room that I can't get in with a bucket. Now I'm going to try to go in there without the bucket and see if I can get in there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Run
The
through
lounge
here.
was
I
grand,
need to be in
majestic.
here.
Perhaps
I'm
but
skipping this
eager
door
to
on
get
the
back
left.
to business,
I'm going
Stanley took
straight.
the first open door on his left.
No, I'm going through
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
here. And then I'm going through here and I'm going to jump off on
Look,
the
Stanley,
thing
I think
again.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What
Figlies.
name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by
know.
1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Go in that blue door.
Blue door? But he said red door. You sure? I don't have to listen to him, but if you say blue, we could go blue, Els. Blue?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, Els, we gotta go with what you said. We're going to the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I like a blue one.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken
KG,
rooms,
we
exposed
died already. You
developer
missed it.
textures. Is this what you had
You
wanted?
died right after you
Was
left.
it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work
tree
with
would
me.
be
You've given me
fire.
absolutely
A jump
nothing
button.
so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
You don't trust the door?
Yeah. That has bricks.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that
I gotta wait.
I
till
felt
he
it in my
finishes talking.
soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this
He's gonna
one.
have
Let's take a
50,000
look.
doors. Watch.
Or the 50. Or the 50. Please don't say you're the last. Man,
I'm in last place, Els.
how did
You think I should go through that third door? Well, check out the door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
If he has to start talking. I don't know if it's gonna end.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh, okay.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
He kicked the bucket a few times, though.
Make some food, I'm hungry.
We outside.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, okay. I'll go other way. I think you might have missed when we had a bucket, bruh. Went through a whole bucket phase. We had walking around with a bucket, man. Good life.
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
Freedom.
This looks different.
Should I go that way or should I roam?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
He's about to get me out of here.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Go through there. Oh.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I'm gonna get lost, y'all.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Where the soccer ball?
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
He gave us the ball. Now I can run. We playing Rocket League, y'all. About to get a bucket.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
Do you know where
How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
come back. Let's see what that place.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh. I don't. I am confusion. I'm just. I don't know, L. I don't know. I'm just going. Uh-oh. I'm about to be back in my office.
Why did you say uh-oh?
Because I'm 427 and this is my office.
Oh. First off, it needs more lighting.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I
Sakura,
wonder what he found. If what he
I went,
wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's
bruh,
gotten it.
we played
Down in
Rocket League for a
wherever he
little
is right
bit.
now. I wonder if he's
This,
happy with his choice.
I
And
don't
if
know,
he's
bruh.
learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no
I
other
don't know,
way.
Sakura.
Once
I'm
this
at a
ends,
loss
after
for
it all
words.
comes to a close,
We
then
had
I'll
a
be
bucket.
back.
We had to put the bucket
The
away
end
to
will be
get through
here
a certain
soon.
room. We went in there, but
Very soon.
and next thing you know, we was playing
I
Rocket
can
League.
wait.
You was here for the bucket. Were you here when we had to put the bucket away to get through a door?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Yeah, I did, Sakura.
Are you a person
I hit.
or a bucket?
I'm a person, but also I'm a bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But
We
eager
kicked
to
the
get back
ball
to
through
business,
the goal,
Stanley
but,
took the first open door on his left.
Ooh, look at that.
Next time, because we
Stanley
gotta
was
go
so
in here
bad at
again.
following directions,
Remember
it's
last time we went
incredible
through
he
the blue
wasn't
door.
fired years ago.
Now we gotta go through the red door.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
We're going
let
to
me
the
prove
red
it.
door.
Let me prove that I'm on
Hey, y'all,
your
we got
side.
4
Give
Figlies,
me a
bruh.
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
We're going red this time. We went through blue door last
Oh,
time,
thank
but we might have
God
to
you
go
are
to the
willing
blue
to listen
door
to me.
again.
Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
We went blue
The problem
last
is
time.
all
We're
these
gonna go blue
choices.
again,
The
but
two
this
of us
time we're
always
going
trying
red.
to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just
Why are you
stopped.
going back?
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Go in the door. Where are you?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
What is it?
If we just stay right here, right in this moment. No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Jump. 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 Jump.
You said jump. They said no. What do I do?
Jump. Walk. Walk. No, don't walk there. Jump.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived.
And then we're happy.
No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before.
That
If you
goes-
die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
One more time. Bro, I'm walking slower. Like, I think he's
God.
injured.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
This time, don't go back.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Whoa! What's happening here? This looks cool.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Do you know what's happening here? You know what's happening here? You know what's happening here?
They're not letting me. I'm trying to jump here, too.
Jump somewhere, please.
I'm going back in there.
Cause you barely even see.
I'm walking so slow, y'all. My legs don't work no more. He's jumped too many times.
Jump again.
I have to. There's nothing else to do in there. We're going through that blue door again next time. There's another door after that blue door that I've missed. And we jumped off the thing. But which time?
Let me see if you go slower.
I'm already going slower.
I want to see you.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
What happened? This is
My legs work. My phone. Not my phone. Somebody else's phone.
who is that phone of theirs?
That's the pencil sharpener.
There's that phone.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
After you jump, this is what you did. Actually, no, this is what you did.
I didn't terminate it.
Go in that office.
I can't, else I'm going. We're gonna go right.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Hold on, I got one more
This
thing
was
I
not
gotta
the
do.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes,
Perhaps he
I
wanted
know.
to stop by the employee
So it
lounge
was in that
first,
same room?
just to admire
At
it.
the start? Okay. I probably can't go back in there now.
What?
Because they shut the door. I'll do it when I get back in there. But I gotta go through the blue door, bruh. And then I gotta go through, there's this other door that I didn't get to go through last
was
time I went through the
okay.
blue door.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This place is
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy.
There's another
really,
place
I'm
to go.
not.
How
I
do I get
realize that
there?
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I'm gonna figure it out. I want that
There's someone you've
figurine.
been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here.
Go here. He
I haven't
asked
even
some
finished
things.
building this
There's
section of the
another
map
door.
because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly.
I don't remember how we got to the baby
I really
thing,
couldn't say
but I
where
don't
the
wanna
idea
go
came
there
from,
again.
except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. But after that, it's Rocket League. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
Button, and if I don't, the baby go in the fire.
Really take notice.
But we was pressing that button
course,
for a long time
the message of the
last
game
time,
only becomes
and
clear once you've been playing it for
just
about
had to let
4
it go.
hours. So why don't you
But I'm gonna
give
let
it
you
4
hear
hours
how
of play
annoying this
to
button
make sure
was,
it's
bro.
effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Come here, baby. Just look away.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
But
I
then after
can't
this
think
is
of a
Rocket
single
League.
thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's
Rocket
see.
League.
What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh, I forgot we had to do this one first.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
Oh, we're in Alaska.
So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Why?
Because it's freezing.
Oh.
You know that?
This time we're gonna follow the trail that I can't go on.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
No, I was so close.
Thank goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
It's about the end. I'm just walking around till he takes me to the next thing.
I think this will be just the thing.
Here he goes.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
But I don't think it opens up unless you have
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Hold on. What are you doing?
Guess I didn't need the ball.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
Yeah, this time.
How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Oh, Els, I think. Go ahead, big girl. I know you're hot anyway. You feel hot. It's okay. Go ahead, shower, baby. Well, it looks like I had to talk. Nothing was different else. It's all good. Go ahead. I fell down the thingy, y'all. But we will go through this door. Gonna be my office no matter what, huh? Just seeing. Just seeing. Yep, it's gonna lead me to my office no matter what. Yeah, I forgot I gotta leave again.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
I am,
That's
but
who
sometimes I
am.
gotta go through
That is
things
what
that I
I
already
mean to
did.
this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be
Time
back.
to unwind
There's
with
no
2K?
other way.
Nah.
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close,
I
then I'll
gotta
be
see what's
back.
up with that window you was
The
talking
end
about.
will be here soon. Very soon. I can
Then
wait.
I'm gonna get off and finish this edit so we can have a video up today. I don't know how many more endings there would be, but alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Good job, Money Butter. No bucket. Bucket. There's one. I need to figure out how to get
When
to.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Like, I need to get here. There you go.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and
I'll
that
fill that
will
money.
be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
I hear that, Money. That's why I just click passing stuff now. But then again, when I was on Shay yesterday, he was doing a lot of cool stuff. I did clip some Shay buckets. Alright, we got a new room.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I hear a window. I don't normally hear a window. Black was good. Like, I don't know what else we could do that's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I think we've done everything that I can mentally compute. I am curious about that. Huh? Stairs. Bro, what? Stairs. This doesn't look the same as it usually does.
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. And there it is. The last
We did it,
Stiggly
y'all.
Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is
We
a
did it.
real accomplishment.
We
This is
found
doing
them.
something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements,
Come on.
you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Come on.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Can't be having rewards.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I don't even know. That was the insanity ending down there, I believe. I keep hearing the wind from the windows, but none of them open. Hey, this door finally opened. We finally got a new ending. Well, another one. Should I have went down or up? Same room, right? Alright, let's try to go up. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I don't think this elevator go anywhere. Why would they do that?
Here's the door. Just go.
I think it's over with. I think it's over with. If this ending turned out the same as the other ones, I'm getting off. I think so, Zing. I think I found all the
Stanley
endings.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I think it's it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control?
I am curious to find that window.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
I won again.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Game
Stanley felt the
finished.
cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So much happiness, y'all. Could you hear me, baby? Okay. You okay? What's wrong, baby girl? Need a hug? Can I give you one? You look sad. Okay, just wait till she's out of the shower, okay? I don't hear window anymore. Yeah.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Love you.
Just one more time.
I don't want to revisit here. We were here earlier. I know. Not much going on. No, this wasn't here before.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
No, I got him. I got the last one. Now I got 7.
What's this? You get 6.
I got 6 already. I haven't, Zing.
And here was a second Stanley.
Oh, he's
you
showing
found
us
this
all the
one
ones
all on
we
your
found.
own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no
I thought
faith in
I
you to
found
find any of them,
everything.
let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
This one. I found it to the right. You open door, I found it.
Hey, that's exactly
It's
right.
right over
It was
here.
here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
That's crazy. Are you gonna ask me again? Don't
Let's see,
quiz me
what
again.
came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
I've never
but it's
been
here
here.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This pink room wasn't here before. What's going on here? What's a big idea?
Who knows what the big idea is?
Oh, I got a deck.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Music was good, bro. Nah, man, no
Takes
2K
you
right
back, doesn't
now,
it?
but
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Why don't you jump over it?
I can't jump.
You can't jump? Let me see.
And
This
then,
was
Stanley, then we
breaking
came
a
to the
jump.
last collectible, the final figurine.
right here, under the stairs. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh no. I keep thinking that it's over, but then I go through the thing and it shows something else.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
This fern was in the beginning of the game, and they said, hey, remember that fern, because that fern's important. And here it is, but it's not doing anything. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, yes, that spot under the stairs. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Starting to wish I never got those figurines.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I don't know, Zing.
Yes, I love that video.
I feel like I'm so close to the end. I don't want to finish it if I'm this close, but then it's like, what is happening?
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
I'm concerned.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Yeah, I'll be done shortly. No, I was streaming. Been streaming this whole time now.
This is it, the very first one we found
in
the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
I thought it was. Go check on Mommy.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything.
The whole...
In fact, I dare say
I'm not going back to the whole...
Now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More. Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run at the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
So they said,
here
one
we
more
go.
time through the office.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
But how will I know which door to go through this time?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I heard...
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I heard the wind from the windows, but I never found one I could go through. I don't know how to get it again. What you got, baby?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bro. I think they're talking about the window, bro. The trophy is called You Can't Jump. So it's a bunch of other things I haven't unlocked yet. I don't know. Let's just go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
It says reboot the game entirely.